May 29th, 2016. The Cincinnati Zoo shot and killed a western lowland gorilla on Saturday after a 4-year-old boy slipped into the animal's enclosure. Harambe, a 17-year-old, 400-pound gorilla, carried the boy around in its habitat for about 10 minutes before the zoo's dangerous animal response team killed the animal. Harambe literally means for all to pull together in Swahili. Following Kenya's independence in 1963, the first Prime Minister and later first President of Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta, adopted Harambe as a concept of pulling the country together to build a new nation.
Harambe! Na mashamba yetu Harambe! Na mifugo yetu Harambe! Na serikali yetu tukufu Harambe!
We must not forget the fact that Obama was actually born in Kenya.
US President Barack Obama gave a speech in Nairobi saying how proud he was to be the first Kenyan American president.
Habari zenu. I am proud to be the first American president to come to Kenya. And of course, I'm the first Kenyan American to be president of the United States.
Therefore, the killing of Harambe the gorilla symbolically means the killing or death of the idea of pulling a country together. In this instance, the country is America, which is being led by the Kenyan-born Obama. We have seen examples of the country being divided during the many protests that have taken place during Obama's presidency.
First of all, this is not a war. It's not a war. We want peace, but y'all gotta give us that. If y'all keep coming and taking everything we got, we gonna take what y'all got. We not playing out here. This is not a war, but we want our rights.
It should be noted that the city of Cincinnati is named after Lucius Quinctius Cincinnatus, who was a Roman hero who saved the city from crisis and then retired to his farm rather than rule. Because of this, Lucius, the dictator, was made into a model of civic virtue. Notice Cincinnatus is holding the fasces, which is a symbol for fascism. This symbolism can also be found in the U.S. Congress. Civic virtue is the cultivation of habits of personal living that are claimed to be important for the success of the community. Civic virtue is also the dedication of citizens to the common welfare of their community, even at the cost of their individual interests. Therefore, Lucius Cincinnatus is connected to the ideology of socialism and globalization. It should also be noted that the name Lucius means of light, and it is related to Lucifer. We know that Obama has been connected to both socialism and Lucifer.
I get it. These days I look in the mirror and I have to admit, I'm not the strapping young Muslim socialist that I used to be. I want to thank
God is the one and only true living God, the creator of heaven and the universe. Jesus Christ is God. Jesus Christ is God. Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Jesus Christ is the Son of God.
I agree.
You are anti-Christ.
The term civility is a foundational principle of society and law connecting Cincinnati to the formation of a civilization of law and social order. This is interesting since the name Harambe sounds suspiciously like the name Hammurabi. Why is this important? The Code of Hammurabi is a well-preserved Babylonian law code of ancient Mesopotamia, dating back to about 1754 BC. The 6th Babylonian king, Hammurabi, enacted this code. According to historians, the Code of Hammurabi is one of the first forms of law, and it is the longest surviving text from the Old Babylonian period. The code has been seen as an early example of fundamental law regulating government, or in other words, it is a kind of primitive constitution. Previously, we have discussed how America is modern-day Babylon. Now we will connect modern-day America with ancient Babylon and its king, Hammurabi, who can be found in the District of Columbia. Because of Hammurabi's reputation as a lawgiver, his depiction can be found in several U.S. government buildings. Hammurabi is one of the 23 lawgivers depicted in marble bas-reliefs in the chamber of the U.S. House of Representatives in the United States Capitol.
The south panel frieze, sculpted by Adolf Weinman, starts with a figure representing fame and then captures pre-Christian era lawmakers. Menes, the first king of the first ancient Egyptian dynasty. Hammurabi, king of Babylon.
Therefore, the death or killing of Harambe is also symbolic of the death of law and order in American society, or Babylon as we know it. The connection of Hammurabi to the formation of the laws which govern this country can also be connected to another interesting event that occurred recently. On May 16, 2016, an 1856 statue of Benjamin Franklin, positioned along the city's Freedom Trail, came tumbling down.
Franklin lived in London from 1757 to 1774 as the colonial representative for Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Massachusetts. He tried in vain to reconcile the colonies and the British government, but the American War of Independence broke out and Franklin returned to America and became involved in the struggle for independence. In June 1776, he was appointed to the Committee of Five that drafted the Declaration of Independence, and was also one of the signatories of the document. Franklin was then made ambassador to France, and helped to negotiate the Franco-American alliance, which provided military cooperation against the British. In 1783, Franklin signed the Treaty of Paris, effectively ending the American War of Independence.
Benjamin Franklin was instrumental in formulating the Declaration of Independence, as well as the United States Constitution. Benjamin Franklin's face is also depicted on the $100 bill. Therefore, the toppling of this statue, connected with the killing of Harambe, is symbolic of the death of the nation and the laws and protections found in the U.S. Constitution. It is also symbolic of the death of freedom and the collapse of the U.S. economy. The term, the elephant in the room, is a metaphorical idiom for an obvious truth that is going unaddressed. The idiomatic expression also applies to an obvious problem or risk no one wants to discuss. It is based on the idea or thought that an elephant in a room would be impossible to overlook. This metaphor has been mixed on occasion with the metaphor of the 800-pound gorilla. The 800-pound gorilla is also an expression for a person or organization so powerful that it can act without regard to the rights of others or the law. In this video, we have connected the killing of Harambe, the 400-pound gorilla, with the chaos and division tearing the nation apart.
First of all, this is not a war. It's not a war. We want peace, but y'all gotta give us that. If y'all keep coming and taking everything we got, we gonna take what y'all got. We not playing out here. This is not a war, but we want our rights.
We also connected this 400-pound gorilla with the law of Hammurabi and the death of the United States Supreme Court, the death of the Declaration of Independence, the death of the U.S. Constitution, and the death of the dollar, leading to America's financial collapse. This is the 800-pound gorilla in the room, which is being overlooked. These events are also being orchestrated by an organization of men with the power to act without regard to the rights of others or the law. These men worship Lucifer, and they carry out his will on earth in an effort to bring about the New World Order. The time is fast approaching when the world will bear witness to the collapse of America, the final superpower, and the institution of the one world government and its ruler, the Antichrist. However, this last and final kingdom will be destroyed by the King of Kings, and the eternal kingdom of Messiah shall be set up in its place. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Amen. Shalom.